thank my lucky stars to be living here today. 'Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. That I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Central Valley Talk. My name is Ray Johns. I'm your host, and the name of my show is Ray Johns, American Patriot. He has done everything that he said he was going to do. Everything. You know, and he has taken more adversity, endured more adversity than all the presidents previously, you know. And this week, my American Patriot, the only American Patriot, is Donald Trump. He's the American Patriot. We've got a lot to talk about, a whole lot to talk about. First of all, please get out and vote. I'm telling you right now, if Biden wins this election, we're going to go the way of Venezuela. This great country, the greatest country in the world, will be a third world country. And I've got Guy here with me. He's got some things to say about, you know what? My Guy, would you tell him about Big Mo?
In just a minute.
Okay.
I have my own version of American Patriot, too.
Okay.
You start every show off with the American Patriot. And I'm going to elect somebody for American Patriot as well.
Okay.
If I can ride on your coattails.
Of course you can.
Okay, Ray. This is a gentleman that I've known for a while. He was near going to the hospital this afternoon. And he felt it so important that he begged me to bring him to the radio show instead, because he feels it's so important to get the word out, to vote for conservative ideals and conservative, righteous ways, and vote conservative. And his name is Ray Johns. And Ray, today you're my American Patriot. And
God bless you, young man. God bless. You see why I love this guy so much? He is not just my business partner, ladies and gentlemen. He is my brother. Would you tell us about Big Mo?
Well, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Who's going to win this election?
Donald Trump.
Well,
Donald Trump.
Well, wait a minute. Everybody's saying that Biden's going to win.
Oh.
What about the polls?
Who cares about the polls? The polls are false. I mean, Hillary was ahead before you. Remember in 2016? You know, you're going to be surprised. People are going to come out of the woodworks. Donald Trump is going to win this election. We need everybody to vote. I mean, please, conservatives, don't look at the polls and think, well, why should I vote? Biden's already voted. They don't mean anything. They don't mean a thing.
Well, what do you say to the people in California that are saying California has already lost as far as being so liberal, and that conservatism is already lost in California? What do you say to those people?
I'll tell you what I'll say to him. He gave me the name of a young black man who's running for president. And we'll talk about him. I'll have Guy tell you about him. We need more people like him, okay? I think there are a lot of conservatives here, a lot of them. There are a lot of them right here in the Central California. When the gym was open, people would approach me. They'd see me with my gym shirt. You would not believe how many, you know. And a lot of people don't want to speak up and say, I'm a Republican. I told this story before of a big, huge black policeman. I mean, he was huge. He weighed about 340, and coming out of Walmart, and he said, I admire you. He said, you've got a lot of guts wearing that shirt. And I looked at him, I thought, why would anybody say anything to you? You could walk through brick walls, you know? And he told me, he said, if I wore a shirt like this, my family would disown me, my wife would disown me. and I'm afraid my children would. I'd be afraid to write, but I tell you right now, I hope they're not watching because they're going to find out for the first time that I'm voting for Donald Trump. So,
Well, that's good. You know, one of the reasons that I really believe that Donald Trump is going to win, no matter what everybody else is saying, is remember a thing called Big Mo. All
remember
right?
this. This is great.
Big Mo is momentum. And in a baseball game, in a football game, one team can be beating the other team, but all of a sudden there's a bloop single, there's a walk, then it puts a little pressure on the other team, and they commit an error, they overthrow the ball or something, and all of a sudden momentum swings to the other team.
Yeah.
And it is a very real thing, and I believe that Donald Trump has Big Mo on his side right now.
He most certainly does. I mean, he is starting to surge in the polls. I understand in Texas they're about even, you know, and that's a big one.
Florida, too.
I forgot how, yeah, Florida, too. And don't those states, Guy, they each have double-digit electoral votes, I think.
I believe so, yes.
Texas,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 20 electoral votes. He's going to win this election.
The other thing is, Ray, okay, President Trump went to Bullhead, Arizona yesterday.
Oh, yeah, great
and
story.
had a big rally. In fact, he's been going to city after city after city, and he's got record crowds, all kinds of people at every one of his events that he's going to. In Bullhead, Arizona, 45% of the people that came out to Donald Trump's rally did not vote in 2016.
Big.
45%. I believe that in this nation there is a huge silent underswelling of Trump supporters.
Absolutely. I've said it all along, you know, people that haven't come out yet and said, I want to tell you something along the lines of what Guy said that I read the other day. Donald Trump played, I can't remember where it was. It may have been Pennsylvania, but he played in a movie theater. There were half a dozen cars there to hear him. At the same time, Donald Trump was in Pennsylvania speaking to hundreds of thousands of people. Every one of his, back before the virus, there were like he had like 5 rallies in a row where he had 100,000 people. And the most that I ever heard of Biden having was 35,000. What does that tell you?
Yeah. Well, the more that Mr. Trump gets out there, and he is getting out there every single day, all over the place, people are coming on board. Now, I'm not saying give up and don't vote because he's got it, because everybody else is saying the opposite. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to come on here and say I was wrong. Mm-hmm. And I know you will too.
Of course,
but
absolutely.
The important thing is, even here in California, there are so many important things to vote for, including President Trump.
Yeah.
Because we want to make a good showing in this state that conservatism is on its way back.
Oh, gosh.
And even if we get smeared in the presidential election, there's some good conservative people to vote for. Mm-hmm. And the initiatives in California this election time is, most of them are just so ridiculous. Yeah. They're a waste of time and paper.
They are indeed.
And we may talk about the initiatives soon, but the important thing is what you said: get out and vote, even though we're in California.
Absolutely. I mean, so many people will look and say, well, you know, the polls show. I'm not going to waste my time. Don't do that. We need your vote. We need your vote. So we need you to get out there. And all you people that are borderline, think about what Trump has done in the last 4 years. Just think about that. Everything that he said he was going to do, he was going to do. And I've said this before. Donald Trump has done more for blacks and Hispanics than Barack Obama did in 8 years. Think about that. You know, I'll never forget. I'm going to tell you this little story. And Guy and I were working hard, and we're in the mobile home business, and Guy had to go, I think, to San Francisco. My sister called me at the office out there where we have our mobile homes. And we grew up as, we love comfort food. And she said, I made some cornbread and beans. I said, I'll be right there. So we were watching the people as they arrived in Washington, D.C. And my sister, who's very liberal at the time, she's 15 years older than me, she said, now look at all those black people headed for Washington, D.C. They just can't wait there. What do they think? Donald Trump has like gold coins for him? You know, they really think he's going to make a difference. She said, he's not going to make a difference. I looked at her, and she's liberal. I said, you don't think so? She said, no, I really don't. And let me tell you something else. Here you've got a freshman senator, okay, from Illinois, who's making roughly $140,000 a year. He was a puppet. They got him to run because they could tell him what to do. Now, he started out as like I said, a freshman senator. He's worth about $30 million. Now, you tell me how that happens. How do you go in 8 short years to being worth $30 or $40 million?
Well, same question could be asked of Mr. Biden.
Exactly.
How did he get to be a multi-millionaire being a public servant?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be a public servant.
Good point. Yeah. Good point. Making like Obama made $100,000 a year. How do you get where he's at? I understand he has 3 houses. You know.
I'm not sure what all he has. I think he has more than that, and they're very nice houses too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the evidence that is coming out now, this Bobulinski whistleblower guy that was hand in hand with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and all the things that they were doing, he's laying it on the line, and he's not doing it for publicity. He's actually testifying with the FBI.
Yeah.
And he's turning over all the phones, all the iPads and everything. But you know what? A sad thing that most Americans don't even care.
Yeah, well,
about
they
that.
listen to the media. And let's talk about this Hunter Biden thing. I mean, they've got overwhelming evidence against Hunter Biden. Overwhelming evidence. And
Joe.
I talked, I'll tell you who she is. I talked to Sandra. Sandra and I talk every day, and we talked about that. And I said, jokingly, now, they did all this on government money. They did all this on our money, on Air Force Two. And you mean, and Biden says, I know nothing about that. I have nothing about it. Now, he got on the plane, sitting next to his son, and he said, okay, kid, I got you the big airplane. Where are we going? I mean, think about that. You think that we're that stupid that we don't know that he had to talk about it? Like Guy said, it's unfortunate. Most of the people don't care. You know.
Well, the media is sweeping it under the rug for the most part, and a lot of America don't even care that he's doing this, that he's been caught doing it. They don't care.
That's a major thing. I mean, it's a major, major thing. You know, it should have knocked him right out of the whole race. I mean, it was that major. I don't understand anyone, and we talked about this on the way over here. I don't understand anyone who would vote for Biden. Why would you vote for somebody who has no experience? I mean, as Guy said, he's spent 47 years in Washington, D.C., okay? He doesn't know how to run a grocery store. Trump can run this country. And, you know, Trump never wanted this position. He doesn't need it. He looked around. He couldn't find anybody else that he could back. He said, you know what? I'm going to do this myself because it needs to be done right. You know, he'd sit around and watch people screw it up, and he wanted to do it.
Well, one of my favorite lines from the last debate was when President Trump looked at Joe Biden and he said, Joe, you're the reason I ran for president.
See? Exactly.
You're the reason. So we can talk more about that after we come back from break, okay?
Yeah. You know, and we're going to do that. We're going to take a little break right now and pay a few bills. And we'll be right back.
Carroll Co., the Valley's leader for no-cost energy upgrades. Now installing AC motors, Nest thermostats, insulation, and more. COVID-19 safe. Call Carroll Co. at 559-396-3939 and visit carrollco.net.
With Organic Pastures Raw Milk, you're getting a product that has been meticulously managed from grass to glass. From our pastures to our dairy, creamery, and distribution, we work hard to produce a product that is safe and clean for you.
Got lactose intolerance or dairy allergies? Discover delicious raw milk and discover dairy the way it's supposed to be. We provide tours and would love to see you. Come visit the cows, watch the milking, the cheese being made, and learn all about raw milk. We're just 20 miles south and west of Fresno, California. Call to schedule a tour at 559-846-9732.
Clovis Community College may be free for you to attend. Call 325-5239 or visit cloviscollege.edu for details. We offer general education classes for transfer and short-term training programs.
Pour yourself a glass of Crybaby wine, available at the market and Sam's Italian Deli. And remember to ask for Crybaby wine at your favorite restaurant.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Okay, I'm back, and we've got a ton of stuff to talk about. I must say that I've been sick all day, and Guy is. I don't know how to describe Guy. You can't. There aren't words to describe what a great man this is. And he worries about me constantly, and he wanted me to. He wanted to drive me. I had a doctor's appointment, and he wanted to drive me to emergency. And we're on our way to emergency, and I had to do this show. This is our last hurrah for Donald Trump. So I'm here because I had to talk Guy into doing it. He wasn't going to do it. He was going to make me go to emergency. He looks out for me all the time, and God bless you. I am so glad you're in my life. I really am.
Well, thank you. I got you jacked up on coffee so you can do this show. So if you make a couple mistakes here and there, don't say exactly. If he doesn't say exactly what he means, just know that
About the coffee, yeah.
he's doing the best he can under the conditions. You were looking pretty scary here earlier today.
Oh yeah, I was scared all the way over here. Okay, buddy, what do we got now?
Okay, one of the things about this election, and I'm not the first one to say this, so I'm not even trying to pretend this is my original thought. But this election really is Trump versus Trump.
Absolutely.
This is people who like Trump against people who hate Trump. Most people almost nobody's getting excited about Joe Biden. Not many people are getting excited about Kamala Harris. What they're getting excited about is they love Donald Trump and they like what they see, or they hate Donald Trump and Biden is not Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And that's the way the vote is going.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't like Donald Trump's personality, if you don't like his brashness, his maybe some people even say a little bit of bullying here and there or something like that with his personality, they don't like his tweets and stuff like that, that's fine. You don't have to like that.
Look at his results.
Think about things like appointing judges, not just Supreme Court judges, but federal judges in the federal courts and the lower courts, judges that actually interpret the law, not make new law, that interpret the Constitution according to what the law says.
That's a biggie, very biggie.
These cases need to be decided based on the Constitution, not on how America feels today. And I know some people that last election, that's the only reason they voted, because they wanted to vote for Trump because of judge appointments.
It's a very big thing, extremely big. And they're going to be judges for a long time once they're appointed, you know. So that's very important.
And it's possible that in this next 4 years, there will be more Supreme Court justices appointed. And it is important to get justices that understand that their job is not to make law, it's to interpret law.
Interpret law.
Their
exactly.
job is to look at the case before them and see how it stacks up to the Constitution of the United States.
Yeah.
Not to make new laws and to twist the Constitution
Or
to fit what they're feeling right now.
Yeah, because it's not, you know, like, it's almost like, it reminds me of the media. You know, there was one time back in Walter Condit's days and Chet Huntley and those great journalists where all they did was report the news. They reported what was there, what was fact. They had no opinion. Now you've got all the journalists that are spouting off about their opinion, you know. They're using their opinion to try and influence. And, of course, I know they're getting paid for this.
Well, I don't remember who the journalist was, but this was at least 10 years ago. A journalist was being interviewed, and it was a woman journalist. I don't remember who, but they said, "Why did you go into journalism in the first place?" And she said, "Well, I wanted to make a difference in the world." And if you're going into journalism to make a difference, then you're going in with the wrong reason.
Absolutely.
Because journalism is reporting news.
Yeah,
not
that's all it
making
is.
news, not changing news, not
Just
changing
reporting
opinion.
what's in front of you. Yeah, the fact. Absolutely. Good point, guy.
You don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
Anywhere on either side. You got to be honest. Either side.
That's
is
true.
Very little just reporting the news.
You know, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I every once in a while, I get a little frightened about, I'll look at the polls or look at what's happening with Donald Trump, and then all of a sudden I'll realize why things are the way they are. The media is the most powerful entity in this country, by far. I mean, they influence, they're where we are with all this turmoil, with all this racism. You know, I grew up in Chowchilla, California. And of course, we had a few people that were prejudiced, but for the most part, we were a very loved family, you know, very loved. And my three best friends, and they're still my three best friends, Dan Upton, Eric Starr, Bob Kerr, and they all happen to be white. And we call each other every day on the phone, or we text each other every day. And I've got, by the way, a fifth of a best friend, and that's Sandra Louis. I can't believe what a grand person she is, and she stuck by me. We talk politics every night, and thank you, Sandra, for being the person that you are. Anyway, buddy, I thought I'd get a plug in there for Sandra.
She deserves it.
Thank you. Guy thinks she does, too.
Putting up with you all this time. Well, I mentioned that this is Trump versus Trump. And it's also an election that, to me, it should be obvious. This is positive versus negative. You look at the speeches that Donald Trump has given in the last few months, especially.
There's Big Mo. Yeah.
They're always about how great America is, how great America's going to be, how we're winning this battle, we're winning that battle. We are doing what we are elected to do. We are keeping the promises we said we were going to keep. And on. He's positive.
Well, about everything.
You look at the other side, and it's negative and crying and complaining, and
Exactly.
it's enough to make you sick. I mean, it's victimology. You know,
Exactly. Good word.
Everybody is looking for a reason to be offended, and they find it, and then they scream it off the rooftops.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm offended about this. I'm offended about that. And yeah, Donald Trump isn't offended about much. And if anybody had something to be offended over, the last 4 years that they have been under relentless, constant
The man has
attack.
endured so much. All the presidents in the past have not endured what he experienced these last 4 years. I've been a Republican for about 45 years, okay? I have never, ever seen anybody take as much crap as he crap. And he keeps right on going. He's still positive. When Obama was elected, I hated it. I hated it, being a staunch, very conservative Republican. But like the rest of my colleagues, Guy included, we didn't get out and demonstrate and hurt people and destroy property. We didn't do that, you know, like the Democrats, like the liberals did. Like, tell me what that's going to change. What is that going to change? You know?
Well, and even in disagreeing strongly with Obama, I did not like him as a president. I think as a man, he was a decent person.
Oh, he probably was.
But as a president, I did not like him. But there is no way, even when I spoke about him, I called him President Obama. I didn't call him
Just because you have respect.
Obama.
Yeah.
There's a respect that is due the office.
Office, exactly.
And that is completely shot
Good
in the
point.
people that are against
point.
President Trump. They call him names. They say they wish he'd die. They say we
God.
should throw things at him.
Can you imagine adults acting like that? I mean, and of course, we all know that half of those people that are out there demonstrating get paid. I guess Soros, Deep State, all those people pay these people to act like this. This is absolutely uncalled for, and I'm afraid. I'm going to say it. I'm afraid they're in for more of it because he's going to get elected. So we can kind of more or less kind of expect these idiots to be out there yelling and screaming and acting a fool like they did before.
Well, and I think we do need to brace for whatever's going to happen after the election. No matter who wins, there could be real trouble in this country for a month or two. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that we're mature enough to take whatever the results are.
I love Mike. This is the station owner boy. What a great man he is. He just asked me during the break. He said, "You guys are going to continue even after he gets elected." And I said, "Well, of course. That's probably the best time. You probably need us as much then as you do now, because, like Guy said, there's going to be trouble if he gets elected, like there was before."
Well, and if you're wondering why to vote and what to vote about and what reasons to go to the poll, you need to strongly look at a few things.
Okay.
I believe unborn lives matter.
Oh.
And multiple millions of dollars is going to Planned Parenthood
Oh my God.
with the liberals.
Who pays for that?
You do.
Well, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have to. If we don't agree with what they're doing, we shouldn't have to. this is a battle. We're in a fight. I understand that there's some people that are in a tight fight here in California. You know, David Valadao, I believe he's going to take it,
Yeah.
and we need him in
yes,
Washington,
we do.
D.C.
Yeah.
I can't think of who is going against Jim Costa. I think it's Cookingham. Kevin Cookingham.
Yeah, yeah. I think it
Good
is.
man. And he's got a chance to unseat Jim Costa.
Jim Costa's been there forever, too long.
Those of you in that district, please go out and vote.
Yeah.
We need Kevin Cookingham in that spot
Yeah,
and
we
not
do.
Jim Costa.
Yeah.
That's a very crucial seat that we can take.
Oh,
We're close to taking it.
Oh, we need that really bad. Good point, guy.
Another thing about Big Mo,
Yeah,
all right,
I like Big Bo.
I found out just this afternoon there is a rapper that has come out for Trump.
Oh,
That is
yes.
surprising everybody. His name's Lil Wayne.
Uh-huh, yeah.
And I hadn't heard that. I just heard it this afternoon. It might have happened earlier, but he's
I
coming
love
out
that.
saying some positive things about Donald Trump.
I love
And
that.
that guy, I don't know that much about him. I'm not the deepest into the rap music
I'm
that
not
you would
into it
think
at
I
all.
am.
But the fact that a young man will endorse Donald Trump thrills me to death. It does.
And I hope people that listen to him are really listening to him.
I do too, Guy.
Every little bit counts at this point. We've got a
Absolutely.
few days before the election, and that's why you made it such a point to get onto this show today, even though you're sick.
I tell you, this is our last hurrah, okay? Please, and Guy and I both emphasize this, please come out and vote for Donald Trump. Let's put him back in there. Do you realize what he'll do in the next 4 years? You know, let him run this country, and you'll see a major difference in the country with Donald Trump for 4 more years. I can guarantee it.
You know something we had planned on doing on this show,
Good.
and we came unprepared for it, but we're going to pretend like we're doing it.
Okay.
I got those ballots to sign for
yeah,
the
we were gonna
petition to
do
recall
that.
Gavin, and we were going to sign it here on the show.
Yeah.
But you and I are signing those today.
Okay.
And we're going to get them turned in. And I want everybody to go to recallgavin.com, and you can download a ballot. You can print it out. You can take it down to your local hardware store. You can take it somewhere, get all your friends to sign it, and there's an address on it to turn it in. And
Beautiful.
turn
Excellent.
it in.
Please do this.
And we're talking about Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
He thinks that he is a dictator. He thinks that he is the king or the czar or something of California. The crazy ideas he comes up with all these tiered, colored, different zones and areas where this one wears a mask, this one doesn't, this one, I mean, it's confusing, it's ridiculous. We need to get California back to work.
Worst governor we've ever had, that this state has ever had. You know, and we had some bad ones, you know, but he's ridiculous. And Guy's right. We got to get this country away from him, and in the process, get rid of a couple other people, Feinstein, Boxer, people like that, and turn this state around. Can you imagine if we turn California around? You know, which is not going to be easy, being that it's more or less a sanctuary state, but it can be done with all of our help. You know,
I agree, but not unless we get out and do something about it.
exactly, Guy. We're going to go ahead and take another break, and we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, say 2 and 2.
Carroll Co., the Valley's leader for no-cost energy upgrades. Now installing AC motors, Nest thermostats, insulation, and more. COVID-19 safe. Call Carroll Co. at 559-396-3939 and visit carrollco.net.
For all your real estate needs, call Julia Tadich with Clovis First, 559-323-2213, or visit clovisfirst.com. That's CLOVIS, the numeral 1, ST.com. Whether you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, get a loan, or whatever the case may be, call Julia Tadich.
I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota, God bless the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas. From the lakes of Minnesota, sea to shining sea, to the hills of Tennessee, going down to Houston, across, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, and I know I keep harping on this subject and harping on this subject. And first of all, Donald Trump's going to win. Okay. But we need you to get out there and vote, okay? Please come out, support Donald Trump, support this country, okay? We need Donald Trump for 4 more years. Sandra sent me a text last night that said, we've got to elect Donald Trump. She said, this country needs him for 4 more years. And she's absolutely right. You know, we can't go the way of Biden. We cannot, you know, and just because you don't like Biden. Nobody likes Biden. Biden doesn't like Biden, you know? So please come out and vote. Let's put this man let's keep this man where he's at. Let's reelect him. Let's continue to prosper us. I love the fact that he's making America great and will make America greater. But I think we need to all participate and all help. Okay?
I agree. One of the things that is going to be, I mean, it is touch and go with the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's not just the presidential election that's crucially important here. Mitch McConnell came out and said today that it's 50-50 whether we can keep the Senate or not.
God, we need that too.
And it's crucial to keep the Senate. So any chance we've got of keeping the Senate depends on people across America voting in these tight races.
There's a bunch of them too.
There's a lot of tight races, and the one that we've got right here, you know, with Costa.
Yeah,
you know, we've got to defeat him. That's a very important vote right there. That could swing it.
Oh God, he's been there too long. So please, if you get out, let's vote Costa out of there.
Yeah, that'd be Kevin Cookingham that you're voting for.
Yeah.
So we want to be positive about this instead of voting against somebody, which is what we're doing.
Vote for somebody like Trump. Be positive.
Kevin Cookingham is a very good conservative. He should be there taking Jim Costa's office.
He'll be a plus for us in D.C. and really a plus for us in Washington, D.C. We need him. I think when I think of all that's happened in the last 4 years, I look at different things. I look at Black Lives Matter, what they've done to this country, and based on a falsehood, and they're very, very, very dangerous. They remind me of Adolf Hitler in 1934, They've got that much influence. They've influenced people. People are afraid to say anything. If you're white, you're afraid to say anything because you'll be labeled a racist. I hate that so much, and that you can't use your First Amendment. You can't say what you think because you're afraid people are going to label you a racist. Well, that's happened for the last couple of years that they've been in because they intimidate everybody except me. But they do intimidate people, and this is awful. This is awful that they do that.
Well, and one reason that I elected you as one of the patriots of the day, or American patriot, is that I've watched you for the last 4 years, and you're the only one that I know that as soon as Donald Trump said he was going to run for president, you said, that's my guy. He's the one that can change this. And I wasn't so sure. I was kind of in the...
So was Sonder. I remember Sonder was...
I was kind of in the Ted
sold
Cruz.
yet, yeah.
I wasn't sure who I was like, and I was hoping somebody would come up. And then Trump
too.
came. I wasn't so sure about him. I thought a businessman is something we need, but he might be just a little out there.
Yeah.
And the more he campaigned and the more he said, and I listened to what he was saying, I got on his bandwagon pretty early too, but
Yeah, you did.
there's nobody that got on it as quick as you did.
Before Donald Trump did that, my choices were Chris Christie, the governor of New Jersey, and Graham, the senator from South Carolina. They were my two favorites, and I was going back and forth. And when he said that, like I said, I jumped in that, and then I read what Melania Trump said. They were on their way downstairs, and she looked at him. She said, "You better make sure this is what you want, because if you run for president, you will win." She told him, "You'll win, without a doubt." And I remember there were 11 or 12 people during the campaign. They were on stage. They were Republicans, and it's amazing sitting there watching. I remember sitting there watching it with Sandra, and we were talking about all these people. He stood out so obvious. I
I think that first debate with all the other candidates there,
Yeah,
that's when I said, okay,
yeah,
he makes sense.
yeah.
But what I was going to say about you and Donald Trump is that I've watched you over the 4 years take all kinds of flack, and attacks on your very character and attacks on the color of your skin because you like Donald Trump and you've been for Donald Trump and you wear Trump shirts all
I
over.
love Donald Trump.
You wear Trump shirts all over Fresno and with your cowboy hat and everything. And I've seen you
Thank you, guys.
take a lot of garbage for that.
Yeah.
And I respect you for standing up for what you believe in.
Thank you very much. I believe in this country. I love the slogan, "Make America Greater." I'm going to tell you a story. Donald Trump said, "Put America first." I've always known, because everybody did, that I was African American. I've changed that. I'm an American African. I'm putting America first. I'm an American African. I'm not an African American. And I love saying that, This is a great country, ladies and gentlemen. We are the greatest country on the face of the earth. And we will overcome all this. Calaveras. Racism is going to be difficult, but we'll do that. Donald Trump will find a way to do that. We'll change everything. We'll certainly change the economy with him at the helm. We'll change the economy. We just got to get him reelected. I can't imagine the great things ahead with Donald Trump at the helm.
I'm going to have to disagree with you.
Okay, that's fine. That's why we're here.
You're an American man.
Okay, I'll go for that.
You may be of African descent. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to Africa?
No.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more of an African than you are.
I believe that.
In fact, one of the tribes over there gave me an African name, and
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's super,
But-
man.
Just, I mean, a slight disagreement that.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't been an African for how many generations?
Oh, God.
You're a Chowchillan American. Chowchilla, California.
It's funny. The guy who said that, one of my very partners one day, it was real hot, and I've got an office near Fig Garden, and I decided to walk. I always walk to Fig Garden, especially when I was mortgage broker, and have lunch. And I came back, and the secretary said, "Isn't it 110 degrees out there?" She said, "You shouldn't be walking in this hot sun." And I said, and the owner of the building was standing there, who I love, named Rick. And I said, "Are you kidding? My people come from near the equator." He said, "Bull crap. You're from Chowchilla."
Well, seriously, I've been to Nigeria twice. They gave me the name Uchenna.
What does that mean, guy?
That means God's heart.
Oh, God, how beautiful.
And
Uchenna.
I loved it there, but I also hated it there because it's dangerous over there for a white boy.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, I
it's
can
not
ima-
safe, you know. But
Yeah.
and now it's worse. I don't think I could even go now
Yeah.
to Nigeria.
Yeah.
But Ray, you're an American man, and
I'll
I'm an
accept that.
American man, and I think
all
I'm
American
because
men.
I've got an African name and I've been there twice. I'm more of an African American than you are.
You are indeed. You are indeed. I'll be the first to admit it.
In fact, I've been working out in the sun a lot. You know, I asked Ray the other day. I'm getting darker and darker. I asked Ray the other day, when is my life going to matter?
Yeah.
I'm getting close.
I've told people came up to me and talked to me about Black Lives Matter, and they said, "Don't all lives matter?" I said, "Yeah, Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, Yellow Lives Matter." I said, "But baseball lives matter more than anybody." We're such baseball nuts, he and I. We're such baseball nuts. And I know I'm not a Dodger fan, but they just won the World Series after going 4 times. And Guy and I are neither Dodger fans. We're Giant fans. But I give them a great effort. It was a great World Series. You know,
I didn't watch it.
yeah.
There's
Oh, Sandra told me about it every day.
there's political organizations that I don't participate in anymore, and one of them is the NBA. Another one's the NFL. Now,
I think this is a great statement. He and I have the same statement.
they are not sports organizations anymore. They are political organizations because they have allowed it to be that way.
Yeah.
And so I do fine without sports now. And I was a sports nut.
He watched everything. He football, baseball.
I casually kept an eye on baseball this year. NBA, NFL haven't even looked at them once. They are political organizations. I'll tell you some other political organizations: CNN,
Absolutely.
MSNBC.
Oh, all those. media
Those are
stations.
political organizations. Those
Darn
are
right
not
they
what
are.
they say they are. They say they're news organizations.
No,
they're not.
They're not. They're political. Good point, Guy. Good point.
Switching gears a little bit, there is a real need for godly, righteous people in office. People who do what they say they're going to do, who
Oh.
have moral character,
Yeah.
who have strength of character, who are not afraid to stand up for what's right, who's not afraid to stand up for the Constitution and for all the people in the United States.
I want to put a plug in there. Guy came by and saw me one day and bought a newspaper called Fresno Times. Will you put a plug in for them? They're a great newspaper.
Yeah, I did not bring a copy of the paper with me, but the Fresno Times, find it and read it. It's a great, great little paper. They're
It really
just
is
starting up,
conservative. Yeah, just
and
starting.
they're doing great. And if you have a business and you could advertise with them to keep them going, that would be a great thing too.
Absolutely. They are wonderful.
They are. There's a man with high moral character that is a good conservative. What I've seen of him, I've been very impressed. And I would like people to go and find him on the internet. He is running for governor of California when we recall Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
You need to elect Major Williams.
Tell us a little about him.
He happens to be a black man, a conservative. I believe he's a homeschooler. He's a born-again Christian. He has the strength of character that I was just talking about. I've watched him. I've seen interviews of him, and I've heard the things that he's saying. And he wants the America that we know, the America that we love, to be returned to its greatness. And he believes, and I believe also, that one person at a time changing office can make that big difference.
I agree with
And
you.
it would be great to change the head of California, the governorship, to a good conservative man like Major Williams. Look him up. Find everything you
I
can
think this
find
is very
on
important.
Major Williams. Sign the recall petition and vote for Major Williams when you get the chance here in California, because this state is in the toilet right now.
It really is, ladies and gentlemen. This is a sanctuary state. We got to change it. This gentleman could help. We could start to change this state. This state is terrible. You know, we were talking about the other day, we used to love to go to San Francisco. I love to go to San Francisco. It is filthy. It is lined with homeless people. It's worse than Los Angeles, I heard, you know. And it's absolutely awful. Well, we're getting to the point where we have to say goodbye. I've enjoyed this show. Please get out and vote. Please, please, please. I can't emphasize enough. Let's elect Donald Trump on the 3rd. Let's put him back where he belongs. And let's continue to make America great. You got any closing thing you'd like to say about it?
Well, you just started on San Francisco. You know, I go up there pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
And that city was one of the most beautiful cities
Absolutely.
in the world at one time, not that long ago. And that's Nancy Pelosi's district. It is the pits. It's so sad to see that beautiful city with feces on the streets and
gosh.
everything just falling apart. It's just terrible. This is what liberalism does. This is what
Exactly.
socialism does.
Exactly.
This is what you want to turn your world over to socialists. People like AOC, Nancy Pelosi,
Oh, gosh.
and Biden, Kamala Harris. She is one of the most liberal people in politics.
I can't believe that she was on Biden's face for a long time, calling him a racist, and then she turned around and she's kissy face with him. Of course, she's his running mate. You know, she's a hypocrite, as they all are, as all liberals are. They're hypocrites. How sad is that? Good point,
Well,
Betty.
it's interesting that a short time ago, Biden was incompetent. He was a liberal. He was too old to do the job. He was a little bit delirious. All this according to Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And now, all of a sudden, he's the great man. He's going to, he's
Change this world,
the great
yeah.
savior.
He's going to change it, all right.
Well, here's the thing with Kamala Harris. She is not running for vice president. She's running for president.
Yeah,
She does not have her eye on vice president job. And
that's
a lot of
makes
her,
sense.
a lot of people in the Democratic Party are thinking the same thing. If I was Joe, I'd be a little worried.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a little worried. And
know. You never know.
even if they win, they don't want him around. They want
No.
her.
That's true. A very good point. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's come to a very good show once again. Please vote, please. I'm desperate. Please get out there and vote. Donald Trump is going to be reelected, okay? Remember, you heard it from me and Guy. Donald Trump is going to be reelected. And I'll say, as I say every week, let's support our law enforcement. When you see a law enforcement officer, go up and shake his hand. Well, these days you don't necessarily want to shake his hands, but give him the fist pump and tell him how much we appreciate him, because we appreciate our men in blue. They put their lives on the line every single day for us. And I remember, we've got a few minutes, I will always remember when they had trouble in Dallas. Black Lives Matter people were running out. And they're the ones that started this rally. They were the one responsible for this rally. So when the shots started firing, they're running out as the police were running in to save them. I will never forget that. Nobody ever mentioned that. So what I'm telling you is we get out and vote. Please get out and vote. Back to the other thing. Go up to a law enforcement officer. Tell him how much we appreciate him, because we do. Well, I'm glad I came today. Very glad I came. And I think next week we're going to all be very happy. Donald Trump is going to be reelected. We'll all be celebrating. So until I see you next Thursday, very joyously next Thursday, heaven's blessing.
To the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American.